Good afternoon, this is BremSter, and today I'm going to try recording a puzzle called 12 Blank Cages by Scruffamudda. This is an older puzzle from Logic Masters Germany that has been recommended, and this is, one of the weird things in this community is if it's not new, it's not interesting. I don't understand why the logic in a puzzle would expire. So I'm really fascinated when people recommend older puzzles, so I'm interested in giving this one a look. So let's have a look at it. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. In every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Anti-night rules apply. So digits that are separated by this shape, whichever way you draw it, so whether it's drawn like that or like that, so these two cells, for example, could not be the same digit. So basically digits that are separated by that shape cannot be the same. No digit can appear in chess knights move away from itself. So these two digits could not be the same. Those two digits could not be the same. Those two digits could not be the same. Basically this shape. Because a knight's move on a chess is 2 in one direction and then 1 in the 90-degree opposite direction. If you draw that shape, any two cells that are connected by that shape cannot contain the same digit. Digits may not repeat in cages, so for example, those may not be the same digit. We're given digits in cages sum to the number in the top left corner, those sum to 16, those sum to 17. The 12 blank cages have the following values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. It is up to the solver to discover which cage goes with which value. I'm assuming by value it means the sum of the digits in those cages are those values. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Okay, so there's some gimmies. The largest digits we can put into a cage are 8 and 9, which sum to 17. This is one lower, so I'd have to decrease one of these digits by 1. If I decrease the 9, I'd end up with 2/8. That doesn't work, so I decrease the 8. 23, the maximum I can put into 3 is 7, 8, 9, which is 24. I have to decrease one of these digits by 1. Decreasing the 9 or the 8 would leave me with duplicates, so this is 6, 8, 9. The 7, 9 is looking down, making this the 6, 8. This becomes the 9. By Sudoku, that puts 9 in one of those 3, but this one sees this one, so 9 is in one of those 2. This could be a 9 if this is a 1, a 2, or a 3, so that could work. Okay, so 21 cage is telling me almost nothing at this point. So let's look at the cages we've got. So we've got to put 1 and 2 into cages. 1 and 2 have to go into single cell cages. And there's only 2 single cell cages. These are 1 and 2. Okay, now 3 and 4 could only go into 2 cell. 3, 4, and 5 could only go into 2 cell cages, and we've only got 3 2-cell cages. So this can't be a 9, because 3, 4, and 5 have to go into these 2-cell cages. Is that right? Yes, there's only 3 2-cell cages. 3-cell cage, 3-cell cage, 3-cell cage, 3-cell cage. Yep. So these are 3, 4, and 5. I cannot put 9 into a cage that sums to 3, 4, or 5. So these sum to 3, 4, or 5. So these are all... Well, hang on. Which one of these can sum to 3, 4, or 5? This can't be the 3 cage, because I can't put 1, 2 here. This can't be the 3 cage because I can't put 1 or 2 here. The minimum here is 3. So this is the 3 cage. This is a 1 or a 2. So these are the 4 and the 5 cage, but I can never put a 1 or a 2 here. So if this is the 4 cage, it's 1, 3. If this is the 4 cage, it's 1, 3. If this is the 5 cage, this could be 1, 4, or 2, 3. And this could be 1, 4, or 2, 3. And that's the way it goes. And now I probably want to look at the 1s and 2s and see if I can place them in the grid, because these are chasing each other around the grid now. Yeah, so whichever one this is, let's call it yellow. This becomes blue. This is yellow because they're different. Don't know what that one is, but this one becomes yellow. This one becomes blue. Okay. Do these have to be different? Because one of these is 4, one of them is 5. So, except these are different. So if this was 1, 3, this would be 4, and this would have to be 1. If this was 2, 3, this would be 4, and that wouldn't work. But if this is, hang on, is this a 1? If this is 2, 4, we're broken. If this is 2, 3, this is 4, and this would have no fill. But that would work in reverse. If this is 2, 3, this is 4, and we've got no fill. If this is 1, 3, this is 4, and this is 1. So these both have to be 1. And these are 1. And these are 2. But we don't know which order those are. But those are forced. That's cool. So now 1 can't be in any of those or there. That's a 1. And now 1 is here. 1 can't be here or here. So 1 is not in any of those. It's not there by knight's move. It's not there by knight's move. That's a 1. There's no 1 in that cage. 1 is not there. 1 is in. Oh, 1 is there. And now 1 is there. There's a 1 in this 21 cage. Okay, let's chase 2s. 2. It's in one of those 3. Well, hang on. One of these cages. Actually, no, more than one of these cages. One of these cages must be a 6 cage. One must be a 7 cage, each requiring 2. Because the 3-cell cages now must be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, which 3-cell cages have 1s in them? That one does, that one does, and that one does. There's none there. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right. So these, two of those must have 2s in them. Well, I can't put a 2 in this one because that 2C's there. So there's a 2 in one of those and there's a 2 in one of those, which means there's no 2 there. That's the 2. There's no 2 there. That's the 2. This is a 3 or a 4 because this needs to be and this is 2, 3, 4 because this also needs to be a 6 or a 7 cage, and these are the 6 and the 7 cages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those. Don't know about these, but let's chase 2s and get rid of these colours. Those are the. Do I want to keep that colouring? Because those are the 6 and the 7 cages. This is at least a 9. So where's the 8 cage? Because the 8 cage needs to have a 1 in it. Right. This has to be the 8 cage. Because this is the 6 cage, this is the 7 cage, this is the 8 cage. So these sum to 7 without being 1 or 2. These are a 3 and a 4 as well. This puzzle's amazing. This is so cool. But can I chase 2s further? There's no 2s. Okay. There's no 2 in any of those. There's no 2 there. 2 is in one of those 2. Which means 2 is in one of those, which means that's not the 2, that's the 2. These are different now. Okay, let's do this. These have to be different. Because if they were the same, they'd be the same cage value. So this and this must be different. So this is yellow, this is blue. Blue is in one of those 2, except it's not there. That's not blue because it sees it by knight's move. That's blue. So that's a 3 or a 4. Yellow is in one of those 2. This is absolutely nuts. Can I connect it down here somehow? If I don't put... There's no 1 or 2 in this cage. If I don't put 3 in a cage, it's 4, 5, 6, which is too high. There must be a 3 in every cage. Well, there must be a 3 in this cage. That cell... There must be a 3 in this cage. If 3... But this can't be the 3 because it sees yellow and blue. There's no 3 here. 3 is in one of those two. That sees yellow and blue. This can't be a 4 either. This is at least a 5. And it can't be a 6 or an 8. And it can't be a 9, because if this is a 9, this would have to be 1, 2 to keep it to 12. Even 7 is a problem, because 7, the maximum I could do is 5. And for 5, I'd need a 1 or 2. This is a 5. And there's a 5 and a 3, so this is at least a 9 cage. Except I can't use a 1, 2 here. This is a 3, 4, 5. Because I can't use a 1 or a 2 here. This is 3, 4, 5, which is the 12 cage. This is the 12 cage. And this is... Oh, this is blue. This is yellow. This sees this by Knight's move, so that's yellow and that's blue. Blue by Sudoku is in one of those two, but that sees that one, so that's blue. Yellow is in one of these 3 by Sudoku, except that one is seen by Sudoku and that one is seen by Knight's move. That's the yellow 3, 4, making that the 2. This is crazy. Yellow is down in one of those 2. 2 is in one of those 2. 2 can't be in those. That 2 sees all of those. 2 is in one of those 2, which puts 2 in one of those, but not in either of those. That's a 2. Okay. Yellow is in one of those 2. Not... Yellow is in one of those 2 by Sudoku. Yellow's not there because of that one. Yellow's... Right, yep. Except this 3, 4 turns around and says this is the yellow 3, 4. This is not the yellow 3, 4. So this is the 9 cage. This isn't yellow anymore. This is the yellow because of Knight's move. Blue in this box is in one of those 2. Blue is right here by Sudoku, which puts blue in one of those 2. Except that one sees that. That's not the blue. That's the blue 3, 4, making that the 2, which makes that the 2. And that says that's not the blue. That's the 3, 4. Now, there is definitely something I can do with these, because... This is not the yellow. This is the yellow 3, 4. Now, I've got all the 3, 4s, but I've still got cage totals to play with, because one of these is the 6, one of these is the 7. That's the 9. That's the 8. So I've got one of these is 10. One of these is 11. I need to put yellow right there. One of these is 10. One of these is 11. One of those is 10, one of those is 11. 2, 4 is the 11 cage. 2, 4 can't be the 10 cage, because one of these has to be 2, 4, because these are different. 2, 4 can't be the 10 cage, because it would be 2, 4, 4. So 2, 4 goes with 5... to be the 11 cage, and 2, 3 goes with 5 to be the 10 cage. So those are both 5s. One, two, three, four, 5s. This is a 5. which means this is a 5 by Sudoku, which means this is a 5 by Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6 and 7 by Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 5. This is a 6, 7 by Sudoku. This is so cool. These are 6, 7, and 8. Must contain a 7. Maybe I need to colour the 6, 7s. What are these? These are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now, if these sum to 4, these would be 8, 9. Let's remove these for now. Because if these sum to 4, these have to sum to 17. If these sum to 5, these are 7, 8, 9 only. There must be a 6 in here. Because if these sum to 4, these have to sum to 17 and are 8, 9. If these sum to 5, these have to sum to 16 and a 7, 9. So there is a 9 in here. The 6 is in here, making that the 7 and that the 6. This is a 6. Which means there's no 6 here. This is the 6. Which means there's no 6 in either of those by Sudoku or Knight's Move. That's the 6. That's the 8. The 7, 8. The 8 makes that the 7 and that the 8, which looks up by Knight's Move, making that the 9 and that the 7. The 8 makes that the 5 and that the 8. So this is known to be a 9, which makes that the 8 by Knight's Move and that the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 7 and 8. The 7 makes that the 8 by Knight's Move and that the 7. This puzzle is glorious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 8 by Knight's Move. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. The 9 sees that one. 7 sees that one. 7 sees that one. So that's the 7. The 9 sees that one, making that the 6 and that the 9. The 6, of course, looks over saying that's not the 6, that's the 6. This is 7, 8, 9. The 9 says that's not the 9. I could never have put 9 there. But the 7 makes that the 8. This is a 7, 9. So these sum to 17. That has to be a 4. So I can select all of the yellows and make them 4. All of the blues and make them 3. I can get rid of the colouring. The 7 makes that the 9, which makes that the 7. This column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 go in. The 7 and the 8 makes that the 6, and I can take 6 out of those. The 8 makes that the 7, which makes that the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7, 8, 9, but there's a 7, 8 here, so that's 6, 9. This is 7, 8. The 8 makes that the 7 and that the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's no 5 in those, so that's the 5. The 7 makes that the 6, which makes that the 7, which looks back, making that the 9 and that the 6. And that is the correct solution to the puzzle. 8 solves in 464.6 days. Let's get that number up, people. This puzzle deserves way more attention than that. That was beautiful logic. I love the way those cages worked. It's a really nice anti-knight puzzle. Mwah! Stunning stuff. Thank you, Scruffamudda, for the puzzle. Thank you to the person who recommended it, but thank you, Scruffamudda, for setting the puzzle. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, good luck with your solving.